Tired of feeling like you're spinning all the plates in your design business and at any moment they could all come crashing down? Are you feeling like you're so close to breaking through to the next level, but those consistent projects still aren't flowing your way? Are you ready to finally take your business from a hobby to 100K and beyond? Then welcome to the Six Figure Designer Podcast. I'm talking all the techniques you need in your design business to start paying yourself, get great clients, and finally break through that 5-figure ceiling. Well, hello everyone. It's Pam Durkin here, and I'm back again with another episode. I actually have a really exciting one to talk to you about today because I just finished my Rapid Referrals Challenge, which was a 2-day challenge that I ran to help people reach out to their key referral partners to get referrals coming into their business in a much more steady fashion. So we're going to be diving into some of the aha moments that happened during that challenge. But first, because it was so good and so much fun and people really saw some huge changes in just 2 days, that I've decided to do another one. So I'm going to be running another Rapid Referrals Challenge, and it's coming up in May. It's a 2-day challenge, May 14th and 15th. This time I'm going to do it a little later in the day because a couple of you couldn't make the first challenge just because of the timing. So I have moved it to later in the day. But if you're interested in joining the challenge, and we're going to be talking about some of the things that happened in there, so keep listening. But if you're interested in joining the challenge, go ahead and check the show notes out. The links are all there and you can secure your spot right now. So it was really great to have all these wonderful women in the challenge, and I was so incredibly impressed by them and on multiple levels. One is they all were doing incredible work. I went to each one of their websites before the challenge to just take a look and see where they're at. And I encourage you, as you work on getting referrals in your business, doing a little reconnaissance on who you're talking to. And that's so incredibly important because we need to gather as much information as we can. So I went ahead and looked at each of their websites just to get a sense of who they are, what kind of projects they're going after, and then also during the beginnings of the first few minutes, I had everybody talk about sort of their favorite projects that they like to work on and why that is. And interestingly enough, a couple of the women never mentioned any of the things that they were talking about on their websites. So one of the first things I saw was a little inconsistency in terms of the type of projects that they love to do or that they were going after. And when I brought those things up saying, oh, well, I saw this other thing on your website, they would be like, oh, yeah, that too. And one of the biggest aha moments, and this came up from multiple people, is niching down and being so incredibly afraid to take a point of view and to have a very pointed idea of the type of projects and clients that you want to go after. So again, first 5 minutes of the challenge, there was a lot of aha moments in there. But one of the things I was also really struck by, like amazingly, incredible work happening out there. These women were very open and vulnerable as to what was going on in their business. And we had a really, really great time. And in fact, I had to, kick people off the calls both days because we were just having a lot of fun. So I encourage you to sign up for the next challenge if you missed it. And if you've been really struggling on how to get referrals to come in your business in a steady fashion, they might be coming in, but they're not coming in, they're just trickling here and there. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And then they may or may not be good fits. So if you're finding this, inconsistency with the leads and how they're coming in and the types of projects that are coming your way, then you need to be in the Rapid Referrals Challenge. It's going to be happening on May 14th and 15th. So you got to be in there. So get it on your calendar now. And one of the things that we really ran into is a couple people were trying to develop relationships from scratch. And of course, I want you to always be looking at people that know you in some capacity first, because it's way easier to get the doors to open and to move trust down the line. But some people were in a new area, or they were venturing into a new area of business, and they were trying to figure out how to open the door with new customers. So if this is you, again, this is the Rapid Referrals Challenge would be incredible for you, because that is one of the hardest things to do, is to break into new relationships. And then the other challenge was like, well, what do I do once I get someone's attention? What do I do to seem memorable? Again, I went to look at the websites, and they were almost all identical, using identical verbiage about creating spaces that reflect the needs and, ways that our clients live. If that's on your website, we got to make a change, because that's not really differentiating you in any way from any other designer in your area. And one of the things that we do, not only in the challenge, but in the Luxury Client Academy, is figure out what it is that makes you memorable. And then we start to amp that up. And I know I've talked to so many women, and they have so many memorable traits. They have great style. They have great charitable things that they're doing that they can then tie into their interior design business. They have an incredible skill set of managing all the details from beginning to end, but they don't talk about it. And that's what happens, is we don't make ourselves memorable, and we don't make ourselves stand out. So nobody's, picking up the phone to call us, because maybe they don't know who to call, because they don't know who's going to help them solve their problem. Or we're making it too hard, meaning like we're not being clear. We're not drawing that line in the sand to say, this is what I do. This is who I do it for. And this is who I don't do things for. You're not a good fit if X, Y, and Z. So I want you to be thinking about that, is not only do we want to attract people, but we want to repel some too, because some certain types of clients aren't our best fit. They could be a great fit for another designer, but we have our own unique point of view and own unique idea as to what types of projects are best for us, that we excel at, and we want to be attracting more and more of those clients. Then the other thing is that I found it was kind of interesting, because a lot of these, combined number of years of experience for people in the room in the challenge, I was afraid to even add it up, but I'm telling you, probably hundreds. So many years of experience and wisdom in that room, but they did not know how to clearly communicate the types of projects and the types of budgets that they wanted to work on. So we need to be getting really clear on what that is. And you need to be standing your ground and also communicating that as you're networking with people and talking to builders or realtors or other referral partners. You need to be saying things like, this is the type of work I'm looking for. This is where I shine. This is my ideal client. This is really where we are an expert in X, Y, and Z, in this type of project, this type of client. And while many of the people in the room really understood who the person is or the type of project is that they really want to be diving into, they weren't doing a great job at communicating that to other people. One of the phrases that I always talk about is when you're networking or talking to referral partners where you're trying to get them to refer you business or you're trying to build a relationship with them, the first thing is, what can I give? And I always say, hey, I'm out and about all the time, talking to people all the time. Tell me what your ideal client is. What's your sweet spot project? What would you love to be doing more of? And of course, they're going to tell you exactly what they want to do. And then once you talk about that, you can say, I would love to connect you with anyone as I, go about my day and go about my business. If I find someone that meets those criteria, would it be okay if I connected you to? And of course, they're going to say, yes, that's your give. And then on the other side, that opens the door for you to be telling them what you're looking for as well. And you may find a lot of synergies there because, of course, I'm hoping that you're going to be partnering with people who are going after the same types of clients that you are, that are doing the types of work that you want to do or that you're doing. And you need to find somebody that can help you with the other side of what you're working on. So if you're in the interior design side, maybe you need a builder or you need a realtor or you want to hook up with a building manager. So those are all like dovetail opportunities where you can be creating great relationships. So it was really interesting how that we should be clearly communicating what we're looking for and also clearly saying we would be happy to help you in any way we can. Just tell us what you're looking for, right? Then the other thing is, how do I build trust quickly so that they will refer me as fast as possible? You know, in your own business, that if you are going to refer somebody, you want to be doubly, triply sure that they're going to do a great job, right? Because you don't want to refer anyone to a client that you don't feel is going to do 100% A++ work. Well, it goes the other way as well. We have to figure out ways to show them ahead of time how incredibly talented you are. And that's one of the things that I teach you in the Luxury Client Academy. That's the shock and awe box. You may have heard me talk about that before, but that is a way that we close clients, that we move trust really, really quickly along the process. And I help you create your very own custom box. And that really, again, makes you stand out. It's an incredible tool. It's so fun to put together because obviously it's creative and you get to show your personality and how you can really help people, because isn't that what we want to do as designers, is to help more people that appreciate us for being there, for being a part of the project, that want to be surrounded by professionals and experts in their field. That's the kind of clients we want, right? We want those amazing creative projects with clients who are happy that we are there and appreciate our input. So that's another item that we do create in the Luxury Client Academy. And then, niching down, I think I mentioned this earlier, just having a very unique type of project or client that you're looking for and really speaking to that person scares so many of you. And it's interesting, I am working with a designer right now who had several questions on their websites to sort of pre-qualify someone coming into the world, but she was telling me that she was getting tons of inquiries on her website, which was actually really amazing, but 80% of them were not a good fit, or the clients were trying to go to full scope or wanted full scope design services, but were only willing to pay designer for a day prices. Now, if this is happening to you, that's telling me there's a disconnect somewhere. Somewhere the people are thinking that they can get full scope design they're not really sure how the pricing lines up. So what we did is we literally put, if your project is 3 or 4 or more rooms, then you would be a great fit for full scope. Please fill out this form. And if not, then you might be better suited to one of our other services. And it pointed them to the other services. So that was really helping her let people self-select a lot more. And literally within 3 days, she got 2 opportunities through her website that were extremely well qualified, full scope projects. So again, in the Luxury Client Academy, what we're doing is we're not only getting you in front of the right referral sources, but we're also seeing if there's some disconnects in your business. If your website says one thing and you want something else in your business, if you're talking about in all your social media posts, if you're talking about a certain kind of client, but you really want another kind, we look for the disconnects. And we also look at if you're getting a lot of opportunities, but you're not closing them, or if you're not getting enough opportunities, where's the disconnect? Where's the gap? What do we need to dive into to fix that problem? One of the other items that came up during the challenge is, what do I need to do consistently so that I can have a steady stream of opportunities. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. And gosh, it's quality over quantity for sure. And when we go through the challenge, we really dive deep into the type of your work you want to be doing and who's in your circle of influence. And then we pinpoint where you should be spending your time. Boy, does that cut out a lot of noise that's going on in our everyday lives, because we think we should be doing things with our website and posting on social media and sending out emails and, of course, doing our regular work. And it always feels like we're behind and that we're doing a little bit of everything, but nothing's really, really good. I even had a designer mention, hey, I had this great relationship with an architect and we had spoken 6 months earlier, and time just got away from me and I've never followed up with them. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I mean, if we only spent time on the things that really move our business forward, if we heard what we say to, other people, we could have had, she could have had multiple opportunities there from that one source. And I know we all get busy and we look up and next thing you know, 6 months has gone by. And that's why you need somebody in your corner helping you, kind of keeping you on track, making sure that you're spending the time that you have on the right parts of your business so that you can move it forward. Yes, we could be doing everything. We could be updating websites. We could be doing our social media. We could be sending out emails. We could be managing projects and doing all those things. But if we're spending time on what moves our business forward, if we know what moves our business forward, which many of you don't, then it just makes life so much easier, because we're like, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like a freedom, because you're like, oh, I don't have to do all these other things. They're secondary. I have a primary goal here. I know what I need to be working on. So these are the types of things that came up during the challenge. And of course, we address all these things in the Luxury Client Academy. One of my coaching clients said, I've been a designer for 17 years and I've never charged more than $17,000 in design fees. And after working with Pam, she had me develop those key referral sources, and I just signed a $96,000 design fee, my biggest one yet. Yes, why? We don't need a bunch of small projects. We want those bigger projects, right? We want to get less projects and bigger projects because it creates a focus for us so that we know what we should be working on, and we can just work on 3 or 4 projects instead of 400 projects, right? So as we work together, one of the things that we look at is who in your area is a great fit for you. I know there's a lot of people that you can be talking to in your area, but what came up in the challenge was one of the designers said, I'm trying to get in with these big builders, but they already work with a ton of designers. They might have 1 or 2 designers on staff, and I don't know how to get their attention. And my recommendation is those aren't the best ones for you. Why are we going in places where we have to vie for attention? How can we focus on another source where there's less competition? A builder that might be up and coming, that's never worked with a designer before on a regular basis, only if clients bring them. We can sort of grow our own great referral partners. We can train them a little bit. We can create lasting relationships and grow together. So I want you to be thinking, where can I be where there's less competition, where I can stand out more? And then, we talk about what those referral partners are struggling with and how to find that out, how to get that information out of them. Because then once we know that, then we can start tailoring all our conversations on how our services help relieve that pressure, help fix that problem, help them in their business. And then I want you to be getting clear. This is what we talk about, getting clear on what you're looking for. You're not for everybody, but neither should you be, right? We are special, and we're going to focus on quality versus quantity. And we're going to create deep and lasting relationships with key vendors so that we can get multiple projects coming our way. And of course, I don't think anybody was tracking their conversations, which is one thing I'm a big fan of. We talked about tracking in the challenge, and we have tracking in the Luxury Client Academy because we need to see some details. We need to see some numbers. We need to see how many people you're talking to. How long does it take you to close an opportunity? What kind of vendor are they? What kind of projects are those that are getting closed and coming your way? What's the dollar value? Because we need to know, where should you be spending your time? Where should you be diving more and more and more into so that the referrals come more steady, they're more qualified, and they're bigger and better projects? And then again, we talked about creating your custom owned shock and awe box, because I'm telling you, nobody in your market's doing that. And we want you to stand out. And if you want to know how to get noticed, this is how you do it. So if you guys are looking for better projects, steadier stream of projects, and you just don't know how to go about it, or you have people that you work with and you just don't know what to say to them. You don't know how to get the ball rolling. You don't know what's really going to get their attention so that you can develop that great relationship with them. Then you need to be in my Rapid Referrals Challenge. Again, it's coming up May 14th and 15th. I would love to see you in there. I'd love to see your shining faces. And if for some reason you can't make that challenge, reach out to me. Let me know. I will be running this on a regular basis, and I'm trying to change the times around so that we can accommodate different people. But I would love for you to be in the challenge. The link is in the show notes, and I hope to see you there. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.